Okay, it's Friday, January 19th, 11:20 a.m. Back here at Wade Creek, and look at all these logs blocking the access point now. So you got to crawl all around this stuff. It's about 2 hours before low tide. Low tide is a 0.7 today at about 1:30, and right now it's about 2 or 3 feet. Swell energy is 1800, so it's pretty high today. So it's a be careful day, and man, I don't like climbing all over these logs. But anyway, I'm here with fellow member Nick Armstrong. He's one of the 3 Stooges that I hang out with. Tong Win couldn't make it today, so I'm here with Nick. He's a real sand shrimp user, so he's pretty successful because he uses real bait and he's very good at moving around. Catch conditions, again, with high energy is usually a lot of crashing waves, so that's what I see, and I'm hoping Nick finds the fish before I get there. Temperatures are about 46 or 47, but with the wind chill it probably drops at like 5 to 7 degrees, so it's still pretty chilly here. I'm guessing with the wind chill it's about 41, 42, because my fingers are cold, but they're not numb yet. Real questionable whether this is going to be a good experience or not. That wind is really cold. It's coming from the east, but unfortunately I thought these hills would protect us, but right now I don't feel much protection, and it's very chilling. My 11-foot Santiam today because on high energy days, as you stand up the beach, you want a longer cast. So I normally use a 10-foot, but I bring my 11-foot so I can be a little bit more safe in high energy days like today. Man, it looks really shallow. So Nick's on some kind of sandbar because he's definitely a lot further than me, but I'm not sure I want to go in that far. Sandbar to creep out, but I'm not going out as far as Nick. He's a little bit younger than I am, so I'm sure he's a lot stronger. So I don't want to take the danger. Again, you got to know your own limits. So even though I see him out there and I fish with him all the time and know he's a very safe angler, his limit is, I don't know if it's higher or lower, but you know, he can stand out in higher energy and get hit, and he doesn't mind. So again, just know your own limits, and you know, don't push yourself if you don't feel comfortable. Okay, first cast. Nick says he hasn't had any bites yet. It looks pretty shallow where we're fishing, so I'm not sure what our chances of catching are right now. Be careful is when you're waiting at, you know, pretty low tides, all of a sudden these holes are exposed in the beach floor, and if you're not being careful, there's some like about 1.5 to 2 feet deep, so you got to be careful where you step and just keep your eyes open. What we're talking about is that it doesn't look like it's very good catching conditions because we have to stand so far away from the crashing waves. We're casting into very shallow water, but there's a really good sandbar right there, and with tide going down in another hour by a foot, I'm guessing that we should be able to get to that sandbar really easy. No matter if we can just hang with the cold, because man, it's really chilly. Okay, that's it for now, but hoping we can get to the sandbar. That's one of the reasons I kind of walked down here, is that it looked like it was a little bit more shallow. Bar right away. So just a second ago he was up to his knees and thighs in water because there's a slight trough right there, but now you can see he's on the sandbar. You know, he's only up to his mid calf. So again, you just kind of look for the topography of the ocean. So you just look for the topography of the beach and then find, you know, where you can get optimal fishing conditions, or catching conditions I should say. But you can see he's way out there now because he was able to get through the trough and up to the sandbar, and he's only up to his ankles right now. I just don't want to wade through all that water like he did. I'm not as confident about it as he is, and I definitely don't want to go down today. Just know your levels of what you're comfortable with and stick with them. You want to go try south? You want to keep trying here?
What do you think? I'm down for whatever.
I don't care. I'm just not going out as far as you are.
I know, there's this big bar.
I know. But trying to get there is hard because the ground sucks your feet in too.
Yeah, I know.
So that's why I almost went down, not because of the swells, but my feet were getting stuck in the sand. So Nick and I walked a little bit more south And this part of the beach actually looks a little bit better than we just were. So we'll see how it goes, but we're gonna start fishing our way south because north doesn't look very good right now. Much better than we were. It's still a little shallow, but it's much deeper than where we just were because we can get closer to the water and cast further out. So don't know if it'll translate into any action, but it sure looks better. And I don't know if you can see it, but the big breakers are way out there. And there's some pretty hairy ones out there. We'll see, but man, it's just nice to have my feet in the water again after all the power outages last week. And the other nice thing is, man, it sure is warmed up. So even though it's only in the low 40s with the wind chill, it's better than the low 30s and high 20s that it was last week. Okay, so we had zero action at the place that looked kind of promising. So we went further south and kind of we're back in the same situation as we were up north, which is just pretty shallow to get out to the crashing waves. And when you know it, the wind's starting to pick up again. Up to the north, this has been about an hour, and we're hoping that with the tide receding by another foot, that we can get out to the sandbar that we couldn't get out to before. Yeah, fishing conditions look pretty decent, pretty close here. So anyway, we just keep moving around, trying to find the fish. That's about the only thing you can do on days like this. Getting on the sandbar is much easier now that tide has gone down by another foot. So, and that's how fast the beach changes if you stick around. But it's helpful to know which way the tide's going and then how low or how high it's going to get. So that's the reason why I always look at the tide information, the swell information, is so I can understand, when it's safe or when it's safer. Because when tide's going out, you can go out a little bit further and not worry about getting stranded. But if tide's coming in and you're out on the sandbar and tide level starts to rise, you don't want to get stuck out on a sandbar. So again, you just want to know all the information before you come out and fish, especially on high energy days, so you can stay safe. Yeah, this is much easier now to get to the crashing waves. Fishing, first bite, first fish. So again, that's the benefit of moving around. So let's see. Oh man, this thing's fighting really well. So it took me an hour to get my first bite and my first fish. It's on the top natural. I don't want to break my rod, so I'm going to bring it up to the shore. Wow. So it fills my hand, which is always a sign of a big one for me. Oh, yeah, I don't have a ruler on my 11-footer yet, or this 11-footer. I got two 11-footers. I should have brought the other one. So, but I'm guessing it's about a 12-incher. Hey, Nick! The part on my last fish is that I got it on the top natural, but if you look at my middle camo, it's bitten in half. So, somewhere along the line, I had two bites. A bite. So, who knows? Maybe we'll both get one. Oh, he just missed it again. Well, that's a good sign though. At least we're finally getting bites. So he just moved up to where I was. We fished this area before, but again, remember, if you watched the early part of the video, we couldn't get very close to the crashing waves because the tide still hadn't gone down low enough for us to get close. So now that we've gotten close, at least we got some action. It took us an hour though, which is a long time. I got one. He yelled at me. He's backing up. He's shaking his head. Whoa! Man, that's why you should never take your eyes off the ocean. Alright, so we both got one. It's very unusual. Oh, he says to move down there again, but it's very unusual. I outfish Nick. So he usually does much better than I do because he uses sand shrimp, and he actually moves more than I do. I actually move quite a bit, but he'll move like twice as much as I do. So I'm gonna go move down next to him, see if I can get one more, but I'm about ready to call it quits here soon. You got another bite? Well, so he's still getting bites. I haven't had a bite since my fish. So again, he does much better than I do because he's using sand shrimp. But I think I'm gonna tell him I got 5 more minutes. Hey dude, I'm thinking 5 more minutes for me. Down where Nick was, and man, I just had a really nice bite. It was just as good as when I got my fish, but I missed it. So that's a bummer, but man, that was a nice bite. But Nick is telling me I got to stick around now because I just got the bite. Feel a bite. Well, I didn't feel a bite, but my middle worm came in bitten and my bottom worm is gone. But that last bite, that last big bite cost me 10 extra minutes because I was going to leave, and then I got the big bite. So the last 10 minutes have been action. So the last 10 minutes have been zero action. And again, I didn't feel anything when I lost my worm, and the middle one tail is gone. So we've been here an hour and 50 minutes. And I don't even know how many casts I got in because we did quite a bit of walking. But we each got one fish. I'm guessing mine was like a 13-incher. And I only had 2 bites, but both my bites were big bites. So that was encouraging. But up to that point, we were getting totally skunked. And man, it was cold out here with the wind. So overall, fed my addiction. I'm very happy because I got a pretty decent red tail and I haven't had one in a while. Don't know if I'll come out again under these kind of conditions, but it was nice catching. And it's always nice hanging out with Nick, one of the Stooges. Him, I, and Tong fish quite a bit. We actually text each other like 4 to 5 times a week, talking about NBA, fishing, and all that good stuff. So anyway, what an awesome way to spend the day, catching a red tail and getting our feet wet after all the cold spells and ice storms last week. So it was really, really nice to get out here. Okay, till next time. Probably next week, but it's supposed to be raining, so I'm not sure I'll come out. You don't have to go down the main trail. There's this side trail that you can get to that's just before you get down to the bottom of the main trail. So you can bypass all those big rocks, as well as it puts you on the north side of the creek. And if you don't have waders or boots, then you don't have to go through the creek. So just a bit of information. I don't usually come down this way because all the bushes are usually overgrown. But it looks like someone cleared the bushes.